Good morning, traders. How we doing, guys? How we doing? Welcome
Morning,
to
good
the
morning, good
John
morning.
and Mitch in the morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so got a few hot stocks this morning. I'll post my watch list in the chat.
Yep. Starting up the intro here.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold. You might need a sweater too. I'ma put a ride on ya.
All right, just drinking my coffee, posting my watch list.
Hey, how we doing, guys? How we doing? Welcome. Outcome Trading Fridays. Let's do it. All right. Let's go ahead and start pulling up. Gonna get the gapper scanner here going.
All right, let me go ahead and
John's gonna post up a watch list already.
What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. All right, here's my watch list. Mute myself. There we go. Alright, so your main watch is probably WMLP. Let's see if it's tradable. I'm hoping it is, but I'm doubtful that it is. Excuse me. Yeah, it's not tradable. The best moving stock isn't tradable, which is a bummer. WMLP.
Yeah, I've
But,
seen
I mean,
that one move before.
It kind of came out of nowhere. Like, you can see it had no volume before, and so that's why, you know, it happens. But watching a few other ones here.
Alright, let's look around. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Did they add NSYS?
NSYS, let me look. Yeah, it still looks good. It was one of those all-day faders. I probably should have held, or I couldn't trade it, but let me see. No, they did not.
Alright. Not seeing much out there right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's HQCL, gapping up, low volume, SWIR, gapping up on low volume. ACIA. ACIA looks interesting, gapping up from 33 to 38. Let's see. ADMS gapping up from 24.89 to 28. We got Sono, SONO. Moving some, it's a recent IPO. TNDM, gapping down some.
Looking at that SYMC. Let me check that one out. Yeah, this looks interesting, guys. SYMC.
He broke that low just now.
Yeah,
Let's
that
see if it cracks
18.
under 18.
It's gonna be a stock definitely to watch. I'm gonna look at the news, see what's going on with it. Why is it coming down like that? We got price cuts down to 21 from UBS. It got cut from another person from 21 to 19. So we got to find the reason why they're cutting it. They had earnings call on the 2nd, so that's probably where we're going into. So we got to look at their earnings.
Hey, Baked. Baked, do you want the link for 10% off, Baked? Here, I can send you the link, brother. Give me a second. Let me get it for you.
There you go, Baked. Join up, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, if you do sign up through my link, though, I want, like, let me know what you do, because I've been having a little bit of trouble with this last link. I mean, the 10% off still works, so you don't have to worry about that. But, like, it's supposed to credit me a little bit of money every time somebody signs up. And lately it hasn't been registering. And, like, I don't think this link has ever registered anybody through it. And so if you do sign up, let me know that you 100% signed up through my link. And that way I can go and check to see if the link they're giving me is wrong or whatever. Because the last link, the 20% off link they gave me, it worked because I had a few people sign up through that link. But this recent link, I mean, I know it's going to give you 10% off regardless, but whether it's going to accredit it to me is another story. And so if you do sign up through that link, just let me know, and I appreciate it. But yeah, there's the link right there. It'll get you 10% off any package. Yeah, definitely watching SYMC for a continuation short, VWAP fade, T and DM, same thing.
Yeah, it's a weaker earnings play.
Okay. Oh, I gotta drink my coffee, wake up a little bit. Yeah, I'm in Eastern Standard Time right now in Michigan. It's 9 o'clock here.
Oh, I need some coffee myself.
Yeah, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, to be honest.
It's one of those nights, man. Just rolling with it.
Yeah, man. Today's my last day. We're leaving tomorrow, so.
At least you'll be back to the good life.
Yeah, man. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to be home. Ready to have my computer, you know.
Yeah, traveling and trading is pretty hard, especially with internet. You know, you gotta have good internet. Without good internet, it just starts becoming frustrating.
Yeah, man, it's been a terrible week, honestly. And last week was so good, you know. Last week and the week before were really good, but this week has just been terrible. And I think I've been trying to use larger sizing, and, you know, I think I'm down.
I mean,
like 90 bucks on the week.
Yeah, so, I mean, when you look at it, I think it's just, I don't think it's a matter of your sizing. Yesterday it was just, we didn't get a pattern follow through. But, you know, when you really look at it, day before, you know, NAKD, there was a good chance there. You just got squeezed out pretty hard on the AWX, which killed you.
Right.
That's really what it was. It's when you make that one bad call on the setup, it usually starts like just killing every other trade that you make. And that's why I always say that we got to extend our winners, because if our winners are always going to be on that 1-to-1 trade, and then when we lose, we didn't even end it on a 1-to-1, we end up losing like 1-to-2. That's where it really hurts us. You know, like
right.
When you lose, you know, when you expect to lose maybe maximum 20, 30 bucks, and then you take a $60 hit, essentially now you're looking at that you got to make 2 green trades just to make up to get to break even.
Right.
You know, so that's what it really, I think that's what really just happened to you this week. You know, you took that big hit, and, you know, it was kind of one of those trades that you could have saved yourself. And then, you know, once that happened, you know, you were just trying to just grasp the break even back. And then, you know, yesterday we had a down day, you know, so that's how it happens, you know, just,
yeah.
Now you're in that role of like, I'm trying to get back. And then you start making the wrong decisions, you know.
Right. I mean, the day I had, like, the biggest loss I had was AWX on, what was that, Monday? No, Tuesday. I don't know when it was, but I had that $50 loss, and I actually came back from it, though. I was actually happy with my trading, because it's like I had You know, I had that big loss on AWX, and then my next trade I made $30, and then my next trade after that I made $10, and so I made that. I made uh, I made 4 out of 5 of those that, or I don't know. I'm tired. I made 40%, or
No, yeah, you made it back.
I made 80% back of what I lost. Sorry,
But
that's what I was.
but we remember that trade that you made back, that 30, it could have been 60. We know that you cut it short.
Oh, dude, it could have been 100, man.
Yeah.
Really. That was a big win. Like that one kept going.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know what I mean? And then, so you get into that mentality of that I just need to cover back my losing, and that's really not what it is. The next trade should get you back into winning.
Right.
And that's why you do the 2-to-1 reward, you know, and so that you can make up for that one loss that you had before. You know, and the thing with sizing, man, it's just a change. You know, the speed of the mount is just gonna change. You know, if you've been taking the same amount of size, you know, let's say on that winner with the same amount of size, you would have got the win back. You know, when you look at your average cents is still up, right, John?
Yeah.
So then that shows you that what it is share sizing that's really hurting you. It's not your trading ability. You know,
Right.
your consistency in your share sizing is off, and so it throws off when you even make money.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That day, there was like $20 after commissions, but like per cents or cents per share gain on the day was up by like 60 or 70 cents per share.
Yeah, and then
Because,
that
I
really, that's frustrating, you know.
Yeah,
That
for sure.
that can get really frustrating, you know, when you start seeing your stats and you're like, man, I made 40, 60 cents today, but I'm net down for the day. That means that we're not being consistent in our management and our risk to reward management right
Right.
there. That's where we're faltering, not necessarily in the trading, because you are in the green for cents. You're just not in the green because the share size use.
Right. No, I agree.
But we're gonna be working on that, man. That's what I'm working on also, trying to figure out if the sizing up to a consistent like 400, 500 shares is gonna be playing out better for us than, you know, just changing from like 1 to 300 in that range.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to focus on like, I think right now, I've kind of moved up from like the 50 share positions, and like I've been doing like 150, 100, 150. So I want to get used to that, and then move on to 2, and move from 2 to 3, and then move from 3 to 4. You know.
Yeah, you know, it's just a matter, I think, of making the jump. You know, I think with the smaller share size, it's always got to be more of a get in, get out kind of mentality. I'm starting to realize that the commissions is just way too much, even at a low amount. You know, when you do get those nice wins, yeah, it separates you from the commission. But those in between ones where we make like, let's say $10, $12 on small share sizing, those actually are it's good for confidence, bad for an account. Because in the
Right.
long run, you're not going to continuously be okay if your net profits are only $7.
Right.
You know, in the long run, you're going to probably take a big hit. You're going to get that commission to actually hurt you. And so now the commission's on the opposite side. When you lose $12, you add the commission to that. Now it's $15, and now you're negative, you know, $4 or $5. You know,
Right.
and it's where that's where the separation does. You know, you know, John. You know, we do the small share sizing. I think it's great. You know, to get the confidence. But once you have confidence in your setups, you gotta go ahead and just start sizing up and taking trades,
Oh,
because
for sure.
you know that's how we're gonna make money. If we're gonna really make money, it's not gonna be from trading, you know, 300 shares. It's gonna be stepping up, you know, 500 to 1,000 shares. I think that's really where you start separating yourself as a trader. And if you're able to trade correctly at that sizing, then you really will start making profits. You know, most people when they size up that much, they just start trading all out of whack. Their system
Right.
goes, their profit to loss ratio goes, their stock selection goes, and that's really the key, man. So just keep working on how you're trading, not necessarily the results. And then when we're ready and you feeling confident, we're gonna just step up there, man. You know,
Right.
it's not so much about, going up 100 shares per week, because you're just gonna end up having a bad week and it's gonna kill your confidence. You know.
Right.
So I really, just keep going at it. This is a tough week with you being away. So don't like take this week to the heart. You're not at your home base. You're not in your comfort zone. So
Right.
we'll get back to that. And I think maybe you should even maybe like more size down a little bit. Get back to get your confidence. Nail a good week. Get a good week going again, and then we'll go again hard.
Right.
I think that's always the best way. When your confidence is riding high, when you're on a nice little green streak, that's when you want to go ahead and test your skill limits. Size up. Don't stress so much about if it's going to be a 1 day thing or 2 day thing. Just try to size up, trade normal, pay attention to the cents made, and then you might start seeing that the realized and unrealized goes in your favor.
Right. No, I agree. I was also thinking another route I could take to do that is like a lot of times what I'll notice is that judging on how the first day of the week goes, that's usually how the rest of the week is going to go. Like if I have a profitable day on Monday, it's like the patterns are fulfilling for like that day. I see a lot of VWAP fades going on. Usually the rest of the week is pretty decent too. Where it's like if Monday there's a lot of fake outs and the volume's pretty low and bad, then usually the rest of the week's not going to be great either. And so, maybe I was thinking maybe I should try to do a test trade on Monday. If that goes out well, then get my confidence up, and then kind of use bigger sizing the rest of the week. Adley, it's my gamer tag is Mr. Pancakes Man.
All right, so
That's my gamer tag.
Tiny wants to talk about how you come up with the risk to reward so quick. Do you use the closest support and resistance levels? Yeah, those are usually going to be where I'm going to go ahead and start understanding where the risk to reward is. A lot of times, especially like let's say on a more long side, Tiny, when we get those parabolic movers, like let's say, let me just bring up a chart so I can actually explain it to you. So like WLMP, all right, guys. So this is a good spot to make it a little bit easier to see here. All right, easier to understand. So when you see right here, you're getting a little bit of movement there from like 287. You get a move up there to 286, 287.
You'll miss your volume. I mean, it's breaking up. Is it breaking up for anybody else? I can't hear you.
It might just be your internet.
Maybe it's my.
Yeah, it might just be your internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you start basing out, that's where you want to start figuring out where your support is. Your support should be where you're risking off of. The last major support is where you want to risk off of. What I always like to do, let's say like on a long, if I was trying to long in this area right here, 276, 275 area, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the base right underneath here at 268. So you got to try to find the support of the whole pattern. It depends on your strategy. Sometimes you have a scalping strategy where you want to be a little bit tighter. So you hold it to the last support of the last candle. Like let's say right here, you would hold it on 424. And if you got long somewhere here in the 430s, you could hold it just under that. But I always talk about, when you guys hear me talk about the ultimate risk here, if you got here in 430s, would be down here at the 410, where the more base is. So I always like to look at risk in 2 cents. So kind of you look at it where the closest level is, that's probably where you're going to go ahead and risk. But you can also take a look at the ultimate level, where if the stock completely just tanks and goes down, where is it going to find support. That's always a good range to understand. A lot of times when we go long, there's a stock that shoots up here. Like let's say it shoots up there for 30-40 cents, and if you're trying to long here at 470s, your ultimate bottom here would be all the way down to 428. So that's what I mean by ultimate bottom. But in there you can have a little slight pullback where it can be a small pullback to the 450s here and then come right back up. But if you got long somewhere in that range, the ultimate bottom would be 428. So start understanding a little bit on the support where you want to risk off of, and then realize that there is an actual spot below that support or above that resistance if you're shorting that it can go to, and that should be like your ultimate risk. Like, doesn't matter what happens, if it goes past that number or it comes to that number, you're clicking out. Sometimes you get stocks that drop on you and just completely go the opposite way. With VWAP fades, perfect example was AWX. When John got squeezed, 410 was more of his risk that he wanted to go risk off of, but then like 420 was more like an ultimate risk. It hit 410, he kind of still had confidence in the trade, and then it smacked through and went to 420. That was an ultimate risk. He immediately hit the out button there.
Sorry, man. Sorry. I haven't been following.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, no, that AWX is the worst.
Nah,
like,
I was just talking about more about like how you can base your risk. There's usually like a risk level that you're basing it off of, and then there's something right past that. It's like an ultimate move. If you get a spike towards that, you just got to get out.
Right. Yeah, you just have to follow your stop.
Yeah, follow it. It's always better to stop out for a small stop and keep using continuous defined trading plans than just trying to just change up and be on the wing or on the fly, as they say.
Right.
You shouldn't get stopped out. So what I do is, let's say the important level is 5. If 5 is what I'm thinking the support is, I'm getting out at 499, not specifically right on the support. You can get a hold on support and it can bounce. So that's when you want to just maybe do 1 cent below it, or maybe even sometimes do 2 cents. That's why we don't use hard stops while we trade. We use more mental stops, because sometimes you're going to see a wick, like you're saying. You see that wick go through your number and you're getting stopped out and getting faked out. Pay attention to the bodies a lot. That's why sometimes when you get a wick through your number, sometimes you got to wait and pay attention to this important fact of the time and sales. If the prints are going through your support level, then that's when you want to go ahead and get out. But if you got like only one print that went through there on the wick, that's when you would more along try to hold and see if you're going to get more prints to go through there on the extreme of the wick. Dishy Dish. That's that company, man. I wish I would have shorted that company about 2 or 3 years ago. I'd be rich by now. Dishy Dish. Gapped up.
Baked. We usually. I know I usually get in on the bid or the ask is usually what I get on. It just depends on if I'm long or short. If I'm short, I usually get in on the bid. And if I'm long, I usually just jump in on the ask, just because that's going to get me an immediate fill with the limit order. So I'm still somewhat protected.
Tiny, so for prints, what I mean by prints are actual sales that are going through on the time and sales sheet, not your level 2. So as you see the prints go through on the time and sales, those are actually orders that went through. They're not faking us out, and they're real orders at least. That's why I pay attention to a lot of times the combination between the level 2 and the time and sales. All right, guys, 10 minutes for the bell. I'm going to really quickly just make some coffee. I'll be right back. John, you can hold it down.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, hopefully my Wi-Fi doesn't act up today, but I think the 3 main watches that I'm looking at are SYMC, TNDM, ACIA, and SWIR. Watching SYMC for a continuation short. Same thing with TNDM. We'll see where this one can go. They're both moving more than they usually do, although they're gapping down some. Keeping an eye on ACIA here, gapping up from 33.66 to 38.20. Looks okay. We're going to watch for a possible gap fill. If it could break under 38, maybe look for a price target down to that $35 level. If it can get that low, maybe lower. Looking at SWIR, kind of the same plan here, although this one doesn't have as much volume. But yeah, watching it maybe down to 17. Feel some of this gap on the way down. At WPX. Yeah, WPX gapping down to 1924. Low volume though, so like it's gapping down about 25 cents, but the volume's pretty low. I really like this one yesterday. It continued to just find support at that VWAP area, so a lot of kind of aims to take profits in WPX. It just kind of kept bouncing off that VWAP, giving you an entry. So that one looks cool. Dish, DICH, I haven't even looked at that one yet. Yeah, Dish gapping up some from 29.86 to 31.30. Looks good. There's a gap between 32.70. I'm watching to see where it goes with Dish. 32.70. You must be looking at the daily chart. Let me see. $32.70 down to, yeah, I see it. It's got a little bit of space there up to that $32 level. Volume's a little low though today, guys, so you really do want to be very careful today. You don't want to get caught in a low volume move. And actually, I have to run to the restroom too, guys. I gotta go get that done before the stream starts, or before the market opens. And so yeah, so I'll be back. I'll be right back, fellas. All right, guys. Mitch, you back yet, brother? So, hopefully my internet doesn't act up today. We'll see what happens. But yeah, watching ACIA, probably one of my biggest watches here. Market opens up in 3 minutes. But yeah, volume still looks a little low today, especially with penny stocks, except for that one WMLP. And so volume's still looking a little bit low. We'll see where some of the goes, we'll see where the market heads today. But I'd be very, very careful. And, I'd be very careful not to jump in low volume stocks. The volume's a little low, so we'll see where the market goes, but got to protect my account and be careful here. I'll be back home on Saturday, so I'll be back home tomorrow, but I should have a few videos out Sunday as well, and so we'll see if I can get a few videos out for Sunday, and then I'll be back streaming on Monday, and so took a little week break from streaming. All right, market opens up in 2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes. I'll be right back. My son just woke up, and so I gotta get stuff ready for him. So I'll be right back. All right, so market opens up in 1 minute, guys. 1 minute.
And I'm back like a track.
Yeah, I had to walk off for a second to get my son just woke up, which is actually good.
Perfect.
But IQ, do you just mean, what do you mean? Is that an actual name of a stock? IQ, IYI? I seriously doubt it. No, I'm guessing you mean IQ. And then IQ looks okay, IYI. IQ. Usually I watch IQ and Sogo. Sogo's taking a hit though. IQ. Alright guys, market opens up in 10 seconds. Good luck, everyone.
What was that other one? SY?
MC.
MC, there you go, that's the one. I wanna watch while they open.
Alright, there's the bell. Big drop in IQ. Big drop in IQ. Watching SWIR as well. Dish. TNDM. ACIA spiking up here up to 39.23, breaking the pre-market highs on ACIA. Spiking up big here. That's why MC may kind of fill some of this gap if it starts to run up on the upside. ACIA spike into 39.50s, 39.60s. SWIR coming down some here. Watching SWIR.
Watching Tiva here, guys.
GDS. SYMC coming back down. Look at SWIR, Mitch.
SWIR?
Yeah, if it pops back to the VWAP, I'll consider it.
It's not a bad one.
just got some gaps to fill. There's the spike back to the VWAP. I might miss it here.
There's Tiva
I'm
down
actually
to
gonna give it a little
40s.
bit more time. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. The first trade has not done me well.
All right, I'm looking right now to see if I can get a bounce on Tiva to 62, guys. 62 would be risking off a 70, 2170. If I get a bounce up to VWAP, I'll be taking this trade, guys.
On Tiva?
Yeah.
Look at ACIA though, man. This thing just went kind of crazy this morning, right from the jump. SYMC's bouncing back to the VWAP after breaking the low of the day here. Why is it the first trades, man? It's like sometimes I feel like the market is just going against me. Look at SWIR. Like, you know what I mean? Like the last 3 days in a row, my first trade has been a poor trade. And so today on SWIR, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to wait a second.
That's
you know what I mean?
the problem, bro. That right there.
Look at SWIR, man.
Hey,
this thing tanks what?
It's like I said, man. That's
90 cents.
That's exactly. You said it in yourself. Like it's almost like you're fulfilling your own prophecy there, man. You believe in the setup. You gotta hit the setup the same way every time. It can't change.
That was it, man.
If you change, that's when you start having the impactful moments on your trading, and then you don't take your trigger. Right there, you didn't take your trigger because of what the mentality that you had, you know.
TEVA, yeah. I get it, man. I should have
Short
just
out
taken
there
it, you know?
for 62s. All right, I had to jump in there at 58 there. I got 200 shares there, guys, at 58 there, guys. Risking off of 70. 400 shares now filled there, guys. Now I'm at 2160, guys, risking off of 2170.
I don't know, man. This one's over the VWAP. That's the only thing that scares me. It's too close to that high of the day. But I mean, I don't want to scare you out.
No, it's fine. It's what we look for now. What I want to see is it not to close above it. About 70s to stop out, guys, if I need to. Risking 10 cents for about 25-cent gain.
Right, you could comfortably set yours like at the high of the day, which is good. Like, you know, it's double the resistance. We'll see.
Waiting for this 1 minute to end through. If it closes above it, I'll get out, guys.
But man, I'm kicking myself for SWIR. I can't believe I missed it. GoPro, Baron. Baron saying, look at GoPro. SYMC is just.
All right, guys. So the
here.
next candle opened up there at 57.58. So now above 67, and I'll get out, guys. 67 is my out, guys.
There you go. There's a drop. Let's see it come back down for you.
Yeah, guys, my entry right now is, my average is 2160, guys.
PXLW, yeah, PXLW spiking up here. Somebody mentioned that one. HQCL. ADMS tanking here. Already had a little VWAP fade though, so it might be done. SWIR is back up to the VWAP. I don't like it this time though. It's a little bit, it bounced a little bit too soon for me.
All right, guys, this hits 168, and I'll just immediately get out.
ACLS. There goes ADMS for a nice VWAP rejection. So SWIR back up to 19.
Alright, want the wash to come happen now, guys. Right here is where I
Man,
expect it.
ADMS. I should have taken ADMS, man.
Hey, don't stress about that, man. You understand why you didn't take it. It's your ideas of the open.
For sure.
You had that mentality already there, guys. Alright, this has closed above it, so now 165 is my out, guys. Since this has closed above VWAP, now 165 is my out. Now I'm able to risk 5 cents on this trade for 25-cent gain. I'm alright with that. I'm willing to stay in the trade. If I see 65s go through the prints or on the ask, I'll just go ahead and get out. There you go. I like that. I like that outsiders. It's a little bit not my strategy, but I don't think that's a bad spot where you got short on. All right, the 62s. If he gets to 65, guys, immediately out there, guys. There. That's what I wanted to see. A nice rejection there, right there. Let's see if we get a flush down.
Man, ADMS is absolutely tanking here. Had a few little VWAP fade rejection style patterns.
SWR back to the VWAP.
SWIR.
All right, guys, being careful here, guys. It's at 63s. I even have my hand on the buy button clicked already. I would have to click off of it. So all I gotta do is let go.
I do the same thing.
Oh, that's how you have speed, man. That's how you have speed.
All right. And just I do the same thing and just watch the level.
That's all I'm doing.
Watch the level 2. As soon as I see it flash on the wrong number, I'm out. You know.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what you want to do here. And one of the key things, guys, why am I not getting out here, guys? Is because I took this trade. If I'm willing to accept the risk when I come in the trade, I have to be willing to accept it if it stops me out.
I'm watching SYMC. It's getting right around that low of the day. SWIR spiked back up. And so, I mean, there was still lots of room for me to profit on this little VWAP fade on SWIR. It's spiked up now. It's in a washout long setup. But there was still a lot of room. So kind of still bummed out. I didn't take it, but...
Hey, Tiny, I'll answer that question at the end of the day. I think it's a great question. We'll talk about that. All right, guys. Now I don't want it above. If I see a close above 64, I'll get out there, guys.
Look at ADMS, man. This thing just VWAP faded and filled this entire gap already.
I'm out, guys. That's how you got to do it, guys.
Yep.
Only lost $24, guys, on 400 shares there, guys. That's being able to be fast there, guys. Look at the squeeze there, guys. You got to know that I immediately saw the level 2 chains to 64, and I hit the button. I got filled there at 66, guys. Chiva squeezing on me there, guys. All right. Just gotta go ahead and pay attention.
You got out from minimal, though.
Yeah.
Minimal.
That's what we do here, guys.
Yeah, bud. Yeah, Saturday is tomorrow, buddy. Tomorrow you don't have school, bud. HIVE spiking up some here. SWIR spiking. There goes SYMC. So SYMC just broke under the big low of the day. It was also the low of pre-market on SYMC. It just cracked underneath it. It had a little VWAP rejection there, and that's kind of the VWAP rejection pattern I talk about, but we'll see where this one can go. HIVE spiking up here.
Spread is too big. I'm looking at GDS, but the spread is too big, guys. It's too big to get short there. It looks interesting here, but nah, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, I'm looking for a little bit later day VWAP fade. That's one thing I've noticed is that my first trades are usually bad, but then after that, like, they're decent, and so I'm gonna wait a little bit here.
I mean, don't start saying that your first trades are bad, man. You got to take the trades, you know. I see yourself kind of scarring yourself at the open. Don't do that either, man.
I'm not. I mean, what I'm saying is like before I'd jump in pretty soon, and I'm just judging by how the rest of this week's
I think
been.
what it is that, you know, you got to get a little bit better at determining the setup that you want to get in there. You know, yesterday, AWX, that's not the setup. Today, SWIR, that was a setup there. The setup was there. The risk to management was there. The daily wasn't against you. Those are the kinds of things that, you know, you have to look at. I think what you get wrong on is if we're gonna do a VWAP fade on a stock that the daily and the macro doesn't agree with it, and we lose, we can't be mad at the open because we didn't get it. It was because of the macro of the stock, the daily pattern, and that's why we lost. It's not because of that we're trading too quickly in the open, because that's what the VWAP fade is, you know. It's an opening strategy.
Right. I 100% agree.
It's just a matter of, you know, getting in the right setup. So we got to learn through it, man. That's all it is. A lot of times we have to figure out on what actual daily charts and macro view we want to trade on. A lot of times we can't just strictly trade on technicals. That's what I'm more along bringing up.
Right. We got to look at the overall trend.
Yeah, overall trend, catalyst, history is a big thing, you know, daily history. What does it do every day, you know?
Right. Watching SYMC here, seeing if that previous low at 18 is going to hold his resistance at this point.
I'm watching Dish just tank, but no bounce. Thought it was going to bounce up there, probably around like 38s, 32s, 3280s, but
yeah, look at that thing wash.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you can go eat your breakfast, bud.
I want breakfast.
Yeah, I bought him a bunch of breakfast stuff.
There you go. There you go. All right. Let's see what else we got out there. I'm gonna pull up my scanner there, guys. Sky is going up there, and SNGX also surging a little bit. Let me see what's going on with these stocks. Yeah, kind of interesting, but not really anything yet. SNGX there, guys, announces a program. No, that was way back, 26th. All right, Sky. Yeah, Sky is resume trading. All right. Watching Sky, guys. It's more of a long stock. Seen it do like a little run here. What's up, John? You in anything?
No, I'm still watching right now. I'm watching SYMC. I mean, it's got a lot of resistance at 18, and so if it can hold underneath 18 and break that low of the day at 1790, it looks interesting to me. It's not quite a block fade, so I'm still just kind of watching it, honestly.
Yeah.
But it looks okay.
GDS looked interesting there in the 60s and 70s, but I didn't take it just because it got too above the VWAP. It has a tendency of getting just a little bit above it.
Yeah.
Always, James. We're here for you, brother. Yeah, SYMC, I just don't see the range there. It might be that it's just trying to get some consolidation, some volume to really move, but
Yeah, I mean, it's back up to 18. I don't know. It's all about whether that 18 level can hold as resistance. I mean, it could bounce up to 1812, and I still wouldn't think it's terrible. But it's got a little bit of a triple top here, especially if it fails here. You can see that triple top it just formed. So if it gets rejected hard here, looks pretty interesting.
NS,
At least on the 1 minute chart.
That's what some traders are looking at. Well,
Yeah,
can't trade,
that one.
can't trade it though.
Yeah, right.
Ooh, remember on Dish what I had said about like 2 or 3 minutes ago, guys? I was looking for a bounce in 3280s. What did it bounce to, guys? You know, that's technical right there. It bounced exactly to 3278 right there, right below the support.
Yep.
Prior supports becomes resistance. That's where you look to short there, and you could have got this move right back to the VWAP.
Yeah, honestly, kind of a slow day for me thus far. The only one I really saw was SWIR. Aside from that, I mean, I haven't seen anything I really like.
Yep. I have to agree, you know.
It's Friday, man. Fridays are slow. AMC.
I'm paying attention to Sky, guys, and also to SWIR. I'm looking for a Sky to go ahead and hold these 2490s, and then it can break out long through 25. I'm trying to pay attention to the time and sales, looking to see if there's any big buyer willing to step up here.
PXLW kind of been spiking a little bit all morning.
All right, guys, seeing Sky hit here on those 80s, and then watch, look, boom, the flush down there. It went all the way down, wick down to $24 there, guys.
Damn, huge drop, man.
Yeah, ridiculous there, guys. Almost hit it in the 60s, but this is the support right here, so I want to see it bounce back. Take it easy. Looking for a bounce somewhere in this area, 24.78. Then I can risk off a 25. But
Yeah, I like that one. That one doesn't look too bad.
yeah. But I don't want to just jump down here, guys. It's just too much risk on both ways. You're gonna have to risk like 40 cents on your risk for 50-cent gain. Not really what you want to do.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's way too much of a swing there.
Yeah, I'm still kind of looking for shorts. I just don't see anything. Honestly, my computer's not helping though. RDC, GoPro.
Watching Dish, guys.
RDC.
Watching Dish also. Seems like it's holding its trend a little well here.
Yeah, there's the drop in SYMC I was looking for.
Yeah, it's a tight one there. It's one of those that you just have to size through, build your average, make sure it's near the top of the range. Like if your average was 17.99 or 18 here, then you're more than fine to just hang around and risk up there to the VWAP 810, you know. But and this is another thing. So like let's say you're in that trade, you don't want to be taking profit here at 17.90. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You risk 10 cents to make 10 cents. Those are one-to-one trades. Those are the ones that kill us.
Right.
All right, guys, short there at 24.99 there, guys. Now, if it gets back up, if it starts filling those greens up there at 24.17 or 25.17, I'll probably get out. But I only went with 100 shares there, guys, since it got up there past that. But that drop right there just signifies a lot of reward potential here. That's why I'm in this. Now I just don't want to see the bid get above 25. Bid gets to that 24.99 or above 25, that's when I'll get out, guys. I'm only in with 100 shares there, so I'm able to risk a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets rejected here, I could see it coming back down to the VWAP.
Yeah, I think it's fine. The price that I got in there, $24.99.
SYMC just broke the lows there, broke the low of the day, down to 17.89 now. We'll see if it continues here. It's a little extended on the downside though, but we'll see if it continues dropping here.
I'm going to risk to the high of day, which is 25.18 or 25.20. The real key is the bid. Don't want to see the bid close there past 25 there. See, the bid showed up there for a second there on 25, but it didn't close up there at 25. It just showed.
I see it.
So I have my order there ready for 25.20 just in case it spikes on me. But a spike down can give me a good 50 cents for risking about 20 cents now. That seems a little bit more comfortable, guys. I wouldn't want to see time and sales closing past that 25.07.
Right.
There's it on the Astas, so 25.09. So now I'm just looking for the sales. If anything goes through there higher than 25.05, I'm out. Giving myself a little chance here, guys. Just paying attention. Looking for the next wash down right here.
Knock on your door, brother.
Like it's like, yeah, right when I'm in the middle of a trade, right?
It sucks.
I'm gonna mute my mic for a second. I think the stream's still hearing me anyways. You gotta give me a second. I ain't coming to the door now. Alright guys, I'm out there, guys.
Yeah, okay.
Give me a second, guys. We're back.
Alright.
I'm back, guys. All right, guys. Now we'll let you go, guys. Some alcohol, Jay. I'm about to start pouring up, man. Oh, look at Dish. Dish starting to look interesting, man. All right, for Dish, I'm looking for one more attempt, guys. One more attempt up, and then I'll start shorting it. If it can't get past that 32.75 or get past that 32.63, that's going to be the area. You there, John?
Yeah, I'm here, man. Watching SYMC, it just broke over 18 and then back under it. Bounced to the VWAP.
Yeah. That's the life of that short range there.
Right. Dish though. Dish is looking weak.
Dish, I'm expecting, I need one more bounce. One more bounce. Get to that VWAP. 32.46, reject it, and then we can start going with this. But man, those 32.80s or 32.79 right there, that was really good entry if you could have got it. I agree with you, outsiders. I definitely think Dish is a good daily chart. So you got the macro view working for you. You got a nice gap up that failed. Now it's holding below and created a resistance there at 79. I'm just looking for a bounce back to VWAP so that I can join in with you. Yeah, because it could crash down through here. He's actually right about the 32.18 area, and then it coming down. It does have room to get back down to that 31. Now what I'm expecting is a little bounce here to 32.45. Then I want to see if it's going to try to run to 32.60 and get above that. If it fails that, I'll go ahead and I'll try to get in. it might just go without us.
On dish with no bounce the VWAP.
Yeah, I need to bounce that VWAP. Remember, guys, I really try to keep shorting on green candles, not shorting on red candles. That's why I don't like to get in here. Yeah, I do feel it's weak, but it's just like, to me, it's more of a mentality thing. I think you're always going to be higher probability if you're shorting into strength versus as shorting into weakness. Most of the times you're going to get that bounce. And a lot of times if it doesn't give you that bounce, then just let it go. I've learned over and over just to let it go. Letting it go is better than chasing, guys. Every time you chase and you lose, it's going to kill you 10 times more than just watching the stock leave and you not losing your money. Alright, guys, pay attention to SWIR. It's holding up there. So what I'm trying to see is for more of a VWAP rejection. So it came up, went down, held the VWAP there, then came up. I'm looking for it to probably come down back to that VWAP, and we're gonna see how it reacts there in the 1908 level. Groupon going crazy.
GRPN, right? Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't say crazy, but it's moving. It's actually getting to more of a, this is kind of more of my short pattern. I have a short pattern that a stock that gaps down, comes back to the resistance in the open, and then fades from there. So you look for a major resistance to hold, and then fading from there right back down. It's just a different pattern that I used to use. You got a gap down, comes up, hits the resistance, and then starts fading down.
Yeah, volume's still overall low today. I haven't jumped in anything. I just don't see anything I really like. The only one I'm bummed out I missed was SWIR. That would have been a nice little play.
Mr. Eric, Eric, you haven't been missing anything, man. You came in late, and guess what? You haven't missed out.
Yeah, man. Slow day, brother. Slow day, man. Not much going.
Yeah, nothing much. I'm not seeing much movers, and you know, I've had 2 losses today. I'm down 38. I don't want to keep pushing. You know, don't want to just give away all the weekly profits. Unless I see a perfect setup, I will not be taking another trade. And I think John's more along looking. It might be a 0 trade day for John.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. I just don't see anything. Like, there was one trade I liked, just one, and that's it. And
gotta know when the market's slow. Gotta know when the market's slow.
There's nothing wrong with sitting on your hands and just observing, guys. That's, you know, one of the biggest things that profitable traders do that losing traders don't, is that they know it's okay not to trade. You know what I mean? If they don't see the perfect setup, they're just not getting into anything, and that's fine. You know, that's actually preferable, you know?
Yup.
And at this point, just nothing really looks good. Just don't see anything. VWAP fade time frame is over. Maybe VWAP rejections in play, but the only one I can see is Dish, and if that bounces
all right,
back, it's kind of...
Hey, Tiny, I know you got some questions. You can always hit me up at outcometrading@gmail.com, outcometrading@gmail, and I'll answer those questions for you, especially on time and sales. And I'm always willing to help you out, so go ahead and hit me up. Alright, pay attention to SWIR, guys. I want to see if it's going to get to this 945 here, guys, and fail. It's going to be that third time that it attempts to break out through that 945, 946. And if it doesn't go through, I might start a little starter, but it would be getting off strategy, and that's when I get annoyed, guys. You know, I definitely don't want to be trying to short here above VWAP. I'm gonna stop myself even before I get ahead, guys. Yeah, does it look like I can make money, guys? Yes, but this is what I mean by getting off strategy, getting off your plan. And now I'm at the point where I'm down a little bit. My mentality is, you know, I want to make a win, and that's probably why I'm looking at SWIR there. Yeah, can I make money on this trade? Yes, I do think if it fails here, 945s, it's probably going to come back to the VWAP. But is that my strategy? No, it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and just restrict myself, and I can watch it, but I'm definitely not going to take this trade up here. Put the trade idea out there, but more along, this is when I want to catch myself, guys, especially down. If I was maybe up in the day, you know, $100, then I can think to myself, hey, this is where I might want to risk and take some risk, but I'm down, so I'm not going to go ahead and take that risk.
I feel you. Yeah, that's kind of straying away from the pattern, and so we got to just stick to that VWAP.
There's no point.
If we don't see it, don't chase anything else. Just cool, buddy. I see that. Great job, buddy. That looks great.
Gotta teach him to draw that VWAP fade.
Yeah, man. He's got the Incredibles. He's got like this, the dad from Incredibles, Mr. Incredible action figure, and it like breaks through chains. And then he's got like a Mr. Incredibles book, and so he's like showing me. He's like, they're the same, Daddy. Look, they're
gonna have your son drawing bull flags and bear patterns.
Honestly, I taught my daughter a little bit. My daughter was like watching me paper trade on demand one day, and I kind of showed her like what it was all about, like what trading was, and she kind of learned a little bit, and I kind of quizzed her after it was done, and she followed along pretty well.
You never know. So you see how it failed there, up there at that 950s there, it started bringing through there, but this is what I mean by no sales going through there, guys. Remember when I talk about the time and sales there? So on SWIR, it breaks out there. The wick gets there, up there to 955, but the body never closes at 950 or at 1950. So really, there was no time and sales that was running through there in the 50s. I think we got one.
Yeah.
I can roll through and I can see just one sell that gets up there, and that's why it pushes up through there. There's one at 1954 for 1,100 shares, and that's it right there. It just hits it and comes right back down.
Wing, W-I-N-G.
Sounds like some.
Wingstop. Is that what this is? Yeah, it is Wingstop. Yeah, look at Wingstop then, brother.
Oh, some wings. I'm about to order some wings.
I like Wingstop.
There's Dishy Dish trying to get its way back to the VWAP. Just trying to work up there. So you see with SWIR there, guys, when it rejects there again, right there, it rejected 950s again there, guys. That's where you want to go ahead. Those 1940s right there, boom, scoop them up right there. Risk off a 1950. You can make a move to the VWAP. You know, this is shorting off of what I call more price action. You're not going off of a specific strategy that you're going to see over and over. This is more just price action trade right there. So right there, you could take it and make its move down to the VWAP.
Right. Yeah, I kind of like Dish. Not enough. I mean, it's not my setup. It's not the fade. And so unless we get like a big, like, and sometimes the fades actually happen a little bit later on in the day. But it has to be in like a pretty strong bearish trend, and then a big kind of dip back down or back up to the VWAP, and then it usually kind of washes back down.
CTRL. There you go. You're getting a VWAP rejection. What I would look for in this stock is for it to come back down to that 43, 31, 43, then come right back up there, fail that VWAP, and then go down there.
Right. Also, kind of looking at SYMC here. It had a few little VWAP fades, but the target I would set is 1785, and it's still kind of in this consolidation channel here. It's really got to crack under, what is this level? 1795. That's 1796. It's teetering and testing it though.
TTWO. It's interesting.
Yeah, I remember that one. That one's a former runner. Yeah, that one's bouncing back to the VWAP too.
Not a bad call out,
bad.
John. The other John. John Wasteman.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? I didn't call out anything.
There, guys. SWIR there. You could have hammered there 940s, risk off of 1950s, and then that's the kind of trade that you could do for today. Really not seeing anything, guys, and don't want to just stick around there. And one of the key things, you know, I don't like to lead people into trades, especially trades I don't believe into. So if I'm not seeing anything, then I kind of get out of here, because I feel like sometimes, like let's say like for SWIR, I don't want to lead someone into that trade, a trade that I wouldn't take, and then you lose money and get upset. That's not what I'm here for, guys. I'm trying to keep you guys on a consistent strategy, or at least you guys can watch me trade a consistent strategy so you guys can learn from it.
Right.
You see SWIR there? Boom. That's trading, guys, that's trading off of time and sales and level 2s. Look at that tank.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
Told you, it's just.
But that's a strategy we should back test, you know, just so we can add it to our repertoire.
It's one of those strategies, I'll tell you, John, it's something that I've only gained through time. It's more experience strategy. It's paying attention to the time and sales, seeing that I know that, okay, so it made one attempt to the high there at 946, then it keeps going there, it has that high there, keeps going, and then the green candle surges again to 946. Boom, second attempt. Then you get the third attempt and it wicks past it. But then when it comes back down and it comes to that 9 EMA, you get that next green candle at 1009, and on that next candle, 1010, that should be the candle to get right back above that 950s and get up there to that 956. When that fails right there, that big red hanging man right there, that's your hanging man for a reason. It's hanging up this trade right there. Boom, that's where you go short, and then that's where you can risk off of that last wick or the last high, which was 1950. That's trading off the level 2s, seeing the rejection, and then getting short there. Like I said, you could have got that trade from 1940 down to the VWAP at 1915. Could be covering right here. Boom. Could have had that trade.
SYMC's. Which one? Which stock are you talking about? You're talking about
SWIR,
right? Okay. Yeah, you were saying like 810s or something in the 8s.
Oh, 8.
I was confused.
19. Yeah, 19. Yeah, 1940s.
Look at SYMC broke under that support it had. It had a lot of support at 1795. It's back down to 1791. We'll see if we can come back down to 1785 at this point. But Dish looks okay. I mean, we'll see where it goes.
I'd wait for Dish. I'll tell you the truth. Dish seems to me more like one of these afternoon plays that keeps in the range, comes back to the VWAP, rejects getting above it, and then gets below it. But if you're already in it and you have a good average, I don't see a reason why to get out unless it gets back to that VWAP if you're above VWAP. So guy.
And SYMC looks okay. It's all about, I mean, it could easily bounce back to that VWAP area, so it doesn't look too bad. Preferably, I'd like to see it get down to those lows, which is starting to here. Even crack here now. Had a few little VWAP fades. That's kind of the later day VWAP fade I was talking about. There goes Dish dropping back down to that 32 level support.
Look at I at the open. Did a little bounce. Came down through it.
All right, there's the crack in the lows on SYMC.
There's Dish pulling down to the support.
Let's see how much SYMC bounces here. I think a lot of people are going to add at this point on the 1780s.
Here, down pretty much from a super high in the day, 3250. That didn't seem that bad. Yeah, that didn't seem that bad. It had a VWAP rejection.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it looked good there.
That. 2 touch.
There goes
3
Dish.
touch. Rejects. Boom! Right back down to 31.
There goes, look at.
You
look at
guys
Dish.
ask me sometimes my little 3 rule. It's a perfect example on here. Comes down to 3127, bounces to the VWAP, comes right back down to 3140s, bounces up there back to 3182 where the VWAP is, comes right back down 3152. Last attempt, guys, there on that 3 up, and then on that 3rd down, it needs to break support for the bearish pattern to continue, and it breaks right there at 3153 and slams down all the way down to 31. Perfect example, guys. MDRX. Let me check that out. All right, doesn't look bad. Let me see the daily. Yeah, it looks like we have some gap there. Yeah, I like this actually. Is this tradable, John? MDRX?
Let me check, hold on.
Yeah,
MDRX? It should be. Yeah, it's
yeah, it
tradable.
doesn't look bad there.
SYMC testing these lows at 1783 now, 1784.
All right, so on MDRX, guys, I think this pattern, you have to look at it on a 5-minute chart. I think that this stock has a good range. It's staying in a good pattern. You've seen the 5-minute, it goes up, comes down 1, comes up 2, goes down 2. We're probably going to get an up 3 to about 1387, 1380s. Then I look for it to come back down somewhere and hold 1370. Now if it fails up there and gets below 1361, it can start getting down there.
Watching SYMC here, it's testing these lows right now at the low of the day here. I don't know how much room it really has, but it's testing them now.
Yeah, John, I was in a bad, John Wasteman. I was in a bad attempt there. Also, yeah, sometimes you miss your entry by a penny. Don't get mad about it. Realize sometimes what you're doing is you're nickeling and diming. And at this point, you're not even nickeling and diming. You're over here trying to skim pennies. But really, if you have a small account, that's what you want to be doing, man. If you have a big account, you can risk a little bit more. You can be like, well, 2 cents is not going to be a difference for me. But with a small account, we all know that 2 cents can actually make a difference.
For sure.
So you want to keep all the money you can with a small account, guys. Small accounts is just about being picky, guys. It's not about trading everything under the sun and making profits every day. It's about being picky, picking the right setups to get your risk into so that you can start growing the account. How you're going to grow an account? You're going to take high probability trades on a proven plan with a great risk to reward management plan. That's how you make money, guys. Watching the time and sales there at MDRX, guys. Remember I said it was going to make an attempt there in the 80s and fail there, guys. Come back to the 70s. Let's see if it holds those 70s, makes an attempt for the high again, and fails. That's when I'll start looking for the short. If it does get if it bounces off of those 70s and gets above 87 or 88, it can actually look for a long through the 14.
SYMC ended up tanking, but it's kind of a short leash for profit taking.
SWIR there, guys, back down to 19 there. Nice little bounce there to 1921s. Now back down to 19. Now is when I would be kind of more interested into that stock. But the SWIR, because it's more at the VWAP now.
Okay.
So now it's starting to get to that point where it can tanker down.
Yeah. Might be a VWAP projection.
Yeah, that's the thing. The shortest got in there back when I said, man, 1940s. So you got to be a little careful. They're a little ways from you. One of the things I always like to do is if I got a big shorter near me, that actually helps me. But a big shorter far from me, that hurts me because they're looking to cover shares down here and where I'm looking to go ahead and short into. Right. So that's what happens there. It's one of those trades that if you did get there at 940, it's a beautiful trade to 1915. You could take half and add on any bounce. Look for the move back to VWAP. You actually got it this time back to the VWAP, and it actually crosses over VWAP, which doesn't happen very often on that first down move. You usually get a little bounce and then another little crash, in which you kind of did. I mean, you can see a 1017, it bounced up there in 22s, went down below it, then bounced right above it, 1920s, and then went down there. So what I would look for now is another touch to VWAP and not getting above 1920, and that's where you could risk off of, and you would want to be getting in somewhere in the 1913s, 1910 range.
Right.
There's MDRX, guys, there getting above there on those 80s, 87s there, guys. It went back, it held 70, 77, now back above there, guys.
Here's a SYMC for another VWAP test. I don't like it as much now just because it's the third test of the day. And as it turns into kind of that third test, just in my opinion, it becomes less and less reliable on the short side. And now I'm not saying it won't continue to come back down because, I mean, that's the pattern it's been in thus far in the day. It's kind of bearish trend. It'll pull back to the VWAP and then wash back out and then pull back to the VWAP and then wash back out. But at this point, it's the third test on SYMC. And so, you know, eventually it's kind of like breaking through a wall. It could very easily crack back down. And so, you know, HEAR is also bouncing here. It's been in a bearish trend. Really a few nice little VWAP rejection on HEAR right there. And I doubt it'll bounce all the way to the VWAP, but I don't actually like this one for a bounce to the VWAP. I like it at 31.20, which is about 20 cents under the VWAP.
GoPro up there at 7. This stock is complete trash now. That's why I pay attention to it. Yeah, it's just...
Honestly, I'm shocked. I'm shocked GoPro is like such a bad stock because GoPro's a big company, man. Like everybody has a GoPro.
That's the problem.
I mean, I guess
everyone has one, and then they didn't come out with anything new.
It also, right, and I'm also like their base model may become obsolete in the future just because from increasing technology. And so if they don't go with,
I did a big research project actually on GoPro, guys, for school, for finance. And what ended up actually happening to them is that so their provider of their chipset, which was Ambarella provides their chipset for their cameras. Now that company is a Chinese company. It's just kind of like it's the same way like with Fitbit. When the technology just starts becoming obsolete and you don't make something new. So nowadays you can find the same chipset for cheaper and actually producing lower energy. So that's really what happens there. The innovation starts getting better. So GoPro, the really big thing of GoPro was that you were able to get quality camera or quality video streaming with low energy use. You didn't need a big camera now or a big battery to make this be powered up. And then you'll start seeing that they started having trouble with different companies coming out with competition. It's just kind of the same thing. I'm sure everyone's seen the knockoffs of GoPro, and that's exactly what happens is that another company comes out with a similar chipset that can produce the same thing with lower energy use, and then it immediately makes the technology that GoPro has, it kills their competitive advantage. Once their competitive advantage is killed, we know how that works for companies. The next company steps in and eats it. Yep. And what I'm surprised on is that GoPro hasn't sold out yet. That surprises me. I definitely think it teamed with the right company, the right maybe extreme kind of sports kind of company. It can go further. I don't think it's obsolete in the company. The brand name is there. What's obsolete now is their technology. So they have to create something new, something that can bring you probably better quality with that lower energy use.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Red Bull buying out GoPro. You know what I mean? Like
there
I could see Red Bull doing it and like using that. You know what I mean? Like that would be, if I was GoPro, that would be kind of my next step is like find somebody to at least merge with, because at this point GoPro is just tanking. I mean, GoPro used to be like a more expensive stock. I mean, it was up at, not in the last year. The last year it's been terrible, but like if you look at the last 3 years, I mean, it IPO'd at 60s, in the 60s. I mean, and it didn't evolve. I would be looking for somebody to acquire at least.
Interesting move there for TTWO. This is what we call the VWAP rejection, guys. Stock that started off in the day bullish, come down below VWAP, made 3 attempts to the VWAP and rejecting there.
Yes, sir. There it is. Nice. And then remember I told you, remember I said HEAR? I said I didn't like it if it got all the way up to the VWAP, but right under it, I think I said 31.20. I mean, it got to 31, and look at this tank. And so this is kind of one of those later day VWAP fades. Not quite a VWAP fade. It didn't quite get as high, but one of those later day, similar bull flag patterns here. SYMC also bounced back to the VWAP. I don't know how much I like it, but it looks somewhat decent, And yeah, TTWO just looking weak here. Can't seem to hold over that VWAP area. It's tested numerous times, and that's why it's important to wait for it to close, above the VWAP, which I guess it did a feon times. But
Sono's IPO yesterday came out. Wasteman, you still short on SWIR? Is that what you're saying?
I think it was TTWO, right? Here, let me see.
Oh, SYMC. That's what I'm thinking. Saying short on SYMC. Still short on it.
Yeah, that one. I mean, that one. That's the one I've been kind of following this morning. Is SYMC. Every time it's tested the VWAP, it's
that TTWO. That was a nice one up there. That 127. Definitely, if you're a bigger trader and you trade those bigger names, that's the spot right there in the 127s.
Yeah, and I think somebody mentioned Sono, like you were just saying, Mitch. I mean, if it bounces back to 22 and holds that area of resistance, it may be a okay short down to 2070s. But honestly, man, like I see the patterns. The patterns are there, brother. It's just about staying consistent. Why is IQ tanking? Yeah, there goes Sono here.
Yeah, so Sono must have had a beautiful, beautiful level 2 failure there at 10:06.
Oh my gosh. Mitch, man. We missed. This is like the best VWAP fade setup ever, man. Look at IQ. We just completely missed IQ, brother. Wow.
Yep, it happens, bro.
That thing just over and over again, just VWAP.
All right,
failed,
so
VWAP failed,
so this is exactly what I mean, man. Okay, so one of the real keys to the strategy, guys, is understanding that it's not just about the intraday chart. It has a lot to do with the macro view of it. So if you look at the daily and you see the daily, what do we have? We got a support breakage there that it's doing. Exactly.
$30.
It's breaking that support there, guys. When it breaks that support with good volume, now we're not just only doing a VWAP fade. We're doing a multi-day support break. So that gives you a lot bigger on the percentages to win, because now you're combining variables to help you determine on what you're gonna trade. If we see MDRX there, guys, try to make an attempt there to 14 and fail. That's probably where I'll start getting short there, guys. That last attempt there was kind of interesting when it went to 1398. Just came right back down there.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go fix my wife another cup of coffee.
No stress. Why is IQ tanking? It can be a bunch of things, guys, but like I said, a big reason cryptic is because of the daily support breaking, and then traders shorting on the intraday, seeing that support break. Huge volume going in there, you guys, on MDRX, guys. Huge volume spike. And it was all hidden volume, guys. All hidden volume, guys. Be careful here. So if this comes up to 14 and rejects 14, I'm going to look to short, guys. If it goes above 14, we're going to look for it to hold 14s on the way back down, and then we'll look for a long. You see it's getting that drive up to 14. Look for the prints, guys. Look for the prints. Here, I'll put it up on this one. Look for the prints, guys. See if there's any prints that print in the 14s. That's going to tell you that it's gotten above that 14. Give it in a second, guys. All right, 1390s. This is where we got to pay attention. Underneath 1390s is where I wanted to get short. Seen that 1, 2, 3.
Look at Sono. That's what I said. Remember I said if it tests that $22 level and doesn't break over it, I liked it down to the low of the day at 2070.
All right, putting out an order here, guys. At 93.
On which one? Which one?
MDRX. Yeah, for a short, guys.
Short?
Got filled there, guys. 200 shares there. Gonna risk off of 14. 1401 will get me out, but just to be safe, guys, I set my order form to 1405 on the limit. So now if 1390s break down and it goes through 1385, I might look for an ad there on my way back to the VWAP 1373. Yeah, I'll put the messages up. Oh, that was beautiful. All right, gotta be careful there, guys.
Kind of a bullish day, though.
Don't want to see any prints get in there at 14.
Yeah, 14.
If prints go through at 14, I might get out. I'm seeing the prints there at 13.99, 13.99. Gotta be careful here, guys. There's a couple prints there at 14, guys. Looking for that 1401. Nothing went through there, guys. I like that. I like that rejection there, guys.
Back down. And now it's like a quadruple top. At least on the 1 minute. On the 5 minute, it may look a little bit different. Let's see. Yeah, 5 minute, it's just a double top in pre-market. In where, no, it's still a triple top. Look at Sono, guys. Sono cracking all the way down, low of the day break under that support it had in pre-market. It's down to 2058. And could drop all the way down to 20 right here.
All right, guys. Now I have 400 shares at 13.94, guys. risking off of 14.01. So now I want to see it not make an attempt back to that 14, guys. I want it to flush down here, guys. It needs to start trying to make an attempt to the support, not attempts to the resistance here, guys.
Level 2 is printing with the red.
All right, so the 14 is going to be a really major level here, guys. If I see 14s rolling through there, I'm probably just going to get out, because what's going to happen is it's going to be way too much on that breakout. So we don't want it to make that move to 14. We want it to kind of just be leaning here, and then you see the bottom just drop out.
Honestly, though, I don't know if I'm not to hate on your trade. I just
No,
don't know
I mean, it's not. It's not. Put it this way: we don't do this every day, guys. This is a trade off of time and sales, a rejection to a stock going along. Now, definitely, the only reason I'm taking this trade is I think I have a good 25 cents, and I'm only risking now 7 cents on this trade, guys.
It looks like a triangle, actually. Like if you base it off of the high of 14, it kind of looks like a wedged triangle,
Yeah,
an ascending triangle.
Essentially the trade is a failed long. That's all it is.
Right. I like those. I've heard Tim Grittani talk about those, and so maybe this one will work out. I mean, I don't know, but I've heard Tim Grittani talk a lot about getting in on the backside of a failed push, right? So it tests it once, it fails, it tests it again,
out there, guys.
Back down, and
out there, guys, right there.
Test.
That's how you do it, guys. I got out there at 14.
Yeah, I think you get exit as soon as you saw 1402.
That's how you do it, man.
Exit,
it's all good. I'm more than willing to risk 6 to 7 cents there for a 25-cent gain there. Any breakdown there is going to be a good breakdown. You can actually, this is the only kind of trade that I ever recommend on a flip, but you have to see the sales go through there. You see, I'm getting, it's little, there was big size in there, guys. Big size in there before. So it could have just faked me out by a penny or two. That's what I mean sometimes when you nickel and dime yourself, you know. So I only wanted to risk a really tiny amount, trying to make a good amount. But that's this kind of trade. I'm more than okay with that, because a rejection there, 14s, gives me the profits that I wanted.
Right. It's a good risk reward.
And right there, you start seeing a hard reject of 14. And that's really what you want to see there, you know, the rejections of that high important level there. But I said, what did I say? I said 1401. I got a 1402 read. I got out there, guys.
Right.
Yeah, it is what it is. Man. It's fine. And we're just going to end the day down, guys. And we're going to end the day here. Really don't see anything else worth trading. Couple okay call outs on SWIR, and earlier in the day SWIR would definitely give you a nice VWAP fade. What we're gonna do, guys, is mainly this weekend is really start going through our trades for the last month, on seeing our effectiveness on the VWAP strategy. I'm gonna be asking John whenever he gets back, maybe start sending me some of the ones that he's completed. And so we can start actually just seeing how we are trading the VWAP fade, see our profitability on exactly those setups. And I'll go ahead and I'll try to pull those stats up so that we can have a percentage and start seeing how we are doing on the VWAP fade. The VWAP fade we've seen overall is very profitable. Now we have to see if we can execute the VWAP fade. And that's when you start seeing your trades and seeing how many times you've been stopped out, how many times you've made your gains, how many times you traded it correctly, and how many times you didn't trade it correctly. Start taking stats on that side so that you can start seeing, hey, how can I really make this viable so that the results that I want come out of my strategy and my planning.
Right. I mean, so look at SQ right now, Mitch. SQ, and then look at IQ, right? Look at IQ and SQ, and I think these stocks are kind of in the same sector or whatever. But
IQ would
you
be
can see
Hula.
the common denominator. But if you look at the common denominator between IQ and SQ, okay, they both did exactly the same thing, right? You can see if you mark down the low of pre-market, which is usually a big support and resistance level on both of these started to fail and had their VWAP fade right around the low of pre, right? And so that's even in some of these, that's where they bounce back to on the VWAP fade, which is where the VWAP is. So not only are they bouncing back to the VWAP, but they're bouncing back to that previous support of pre-market, right? And so there's double the resistance there, and that's when you get kind of these big, long, drawn-out faders that just drop for an hour or so, you know, and bounce back to the VWAP, drop again, bounce back to the VWAP. Is, you know, that's something I really want to start focusing on, is analyzing the low of pre-market and using that to base that off of my resistance that I'm looking for right around entry when it gets rejected under those lows of pre-market. Because that's something I've noticed a lot with these VWAP fades, is that a lot of times, you know, when they crack the lows of pre-market, that's when the fade really happens, like IQ, SQ, you know, that's when it really goes down. And so that's when
it's blowing through an important support level, not just a support level, but just an important one that it's held over and over and over again, and now breaking through it.
Right.
You know, so IQ and Huya are the stocks that are really similar. They're these content companies. I looked into them. They're Chinese, kind of like, from what I've heard, IQ is more like the Netflix, and Huya is more like the Hulu of China.
Look at JD really quick, Mitch. JD bounced right back to the VWAP just now. It's a Chinese stock as well. Yeah, bud. Yeah, bud. What is it? Use your words. What is it? I can't hear you, buddy. I can't hear you. You gotta say it louder, bud. There's a Bobo on your back right there. I'm sorry, buddy. You okay? But yeah, JD bouncing right back to the VWAP at 36.20. Doesn't look too bad here. You could, let's see. So, not even gonna jump into it, but just to analyze the risk reward on JD here. If you get in around 36.20 around the VWAP, you could set your risk at really 36.25 if you want to set it tight. If you want to set it loose, you could set it at 36.30. Right, and so your risk, if you get in at 36.20, is 10 cents to 36.30, or at least 36.35, so maybe 15 cents. Your potential reward could be all the way down to that 35.95 level, and so 35-cent risk for a 10 or 15 or 35-cent reward for only a 10 or 15-cent risk, and that's why I really like the VWAP fade, is that it usually presents you with a good risk reward. Yeah, SQ Tank and Mr. Charts.
Drawing over here on Tiva. Look at that. MDRX looks like it might do a 14 breakout. You'd want to see volume
Yeah, it looks
stepping
kind of
in
like
there.
Like a little bit
it's
of a
wedging.
wedge
It's
there.
wedging hard.
Wedge triangle. Right now, it's just kind of at the point in the trade where everybody's kind of in limbo. Like, buyers don't want to buy in until they see a little bit bigger of a push. Shorters don't want to jump in unless they see a little bit bigger of a wash. And so that's kind of when you get these consolidation patterns, and whichever one happens first is usually where this one's going to go.
I usually call it the 50-50.
How many buyers?
It's just like flip a coin.
Right.
You know, both sides.
Right,
One of the
good to
key
see
things
you.
I look at those moments are though is really look at where the next resistance and support levels are. So this is the kind of thing where the risk usually is the same both ways, but the profit can be different. So if it's a stock that, let's say,
Right.
gapped up, 60%, there's a gap in between there on the bottom that's also 60%. And you don't see it
Right.
up 60% and then probably going to 120% up. That's another 60% move up. That's usually not what you're going to see there. So that's what you got to pay attention to, those 50-50 marks. From what I've seen, they can be tradable. You just have to use very low sizing, and then when the trade goes to your direction, you need to actually learn how to size into that so that you can actually gain
Right.
the benefits. So the real key is you're getting a starter to set your full position size, not a starter to take the money off the starter.
Right.
But it has a lot to do with level 2 and time and sales reading whenever you're in those 50-50 spots. And the only problem with that is that we all know there is dark pulling, guys, and dark pulling hides the orders from us. I'm looking to see if Tiva's going to hold this 9 EMA, guys. This 9 EMA on the 5-minute. Show you guys exactly what I'm more looking at. So
Yep.
you
I'm
see
watching
Tiva had
Jake here.
a move up, came down, a move up again, came down, a move up again. That's the third up. Holding the support here on a swing back up through that 22. We could get a breakout on a move below 21.88. It could be a breakdown.
Yeah, I can see that. 2188, yeah. It's got a lot of support at 2190. Breaks under there. I like it down to the VWAP at least. Kind of watching JD here, kind of having like a little mental paper trade. Like I said, risk 36.32, 36.33. Reward. I mean, if you really want to set a loose reward, 35.80. But if you want to be a reasonable reward, 35.95. And this is if you would have gotten in at 36.20. And so good risk reward, 36.20 to 36.32 for risk, 12 cents. Reward, 36.20 down to 36.95, 25-cent reward, so almost 2 to 1. Here's a bounce on Sono. Now Sono looks interesting here if it holds this previous low at 2080 as resistance. For just a break under the lows, bear flag back down, hold the previous low of the day as resistance, and then come back down to that $20 level. PXLW, let me look. PXLW, I mean, it's still over the VWAP, right? And one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that just like half and whole dollars act as support and resistance, like 50 cents and whole dollars, like $5 and $5.50 act as support and resistance, so do quarter dollars, right? And so 5.25, in this case PXLW, 4.25, 4.75, a lot of times those are mental support and resistance areas as well. Those are kind of what a lot of people look at as well. And so PXLW holding that 4.25 area as support. And so I don't know which way it's going to head. It's kind of in between 4.50 and 4.25. And so I don't know what it's going to do until it breaks under or over those two levels. I could see it kind of continuing to form a channel here in between 4.25 and 4.50. But really, if I was going to look to get into the trade, I'd look for it to crack up above it or below it for long and short. So it's something I would just watch.
Guys, you see this GDS on my screen here? You guys see this bounce here, created a nice resistance, then went up to get through it, failed that long. So you got 1 attempt, 2 attempt, 3 attempts, and on that 4th attempt, if it fails to go long, that's where I usually call a short for a failed long pattern. and that's where you go short, and you can get the move back to VWAP, and then hopefully breaking VWAP and going underneath of it. The key is GDS.
JDS.
Yeah, so you see that trend line, that bottom trend line there. That's what you mainly go off of. You want it to break down beneath it, close beneath it, and when it bounces, you can go ahead and short based off of maybe the breakdown point 28 there, or up here if you read the level 2s well enough in the 28.14 range. I was watching that one. I should have been watching more in this area when it started breaking down, but that's why you got to set alerts to yourself sometimes. If you know an important level that you want to see break down, go ahead and just set an alert on there, and that way you can go ahead and focus on multiple stocks, and if it does hit that number, you should get enough time to go ahead and take your assessment. SWIR bounced up there to 1929s, below the VWAP again, just hanging out. Low volume though.
Yeah, just kind of a sitting on my hands day for me. I didn't jump in anything. It's just the volume. I mean, there was a few later day plays, but
sometimes that's the best move, man. You know what that gives you an ability to do? Exactly.
Use more risk later on in the week.
One day you can come out swinging because you know you didn't waste your money on Friday. And the worst feeling is wasting money today, then coming Monday and having that feeling that, damn, I've been, red 2 days in a row. Got to pressure myself to get green. That's what you don't want to do, guys. Don't pressure yourself to be green. Pressure yourself to make the right calls on the right setups. That's it. It's as simple as that. When we complicate trading and we get too emotional with it, whether we're green or red on the day, that's where we start making bad decisions, guys. You're not trading to gain like a status on either whether that be social media or whether that be towards other people or even to yourself. You're not trying to gain like valid how do you say the word you're not trying to be like valid to your skill level. You're not trying to test yourself. What you're trying to do is take trades on a consistent level that follows a strategy. Don't just trade just to get your own ego boost. That's when you really hurt yourself.
All right. You just gotta stick to your plan. Somebody mentioning MET. MET is an insurance stock. I used to work as not an insurance salesman, but an insurance rep. And so MET failing here. Been washing out all day. Had a few little VWAP fades, consolidation under the VWAP area. Also PXLW, maybe going to test that 25% level I was talking about, that 425 level. It's under the VWAP. We'll see if it holds that area as resistance now. Sono here, I mean, the level I said I was watching is if it can hold that 2080 level as resistance and it's broken above it. And so maybe a little VWAP rejection here coming up, a little VWAP fade / rejection, kind of a hybrid of the two. Watching this one, it's a recent IPO. I usually don't trade those just because they're a little weird. So watching it, but like I said, today I'm not jumping in anything. I'm just sitting on my hands. Keith says Groupon jumped 10%. Yeah, Groupon spiking up some here, Mitch.
Yeah, it's just not my favorite trader.
No, me neither. But, I mean, you can see that support level in pre is holding, or that resistance level in pre is holding as resistance now.
Yeah, it's broken out of the bearish. But remember, guys, I don't like it unless it gets up there to $5 on a long. So
Still watching JD here. Like I said, that's 36.20 area would have been a good entry, at least for me, where I was looking at. It's a little done now. Risk at 36.32, reward at 36.595. So 25-cent reward, 10-15 cent risk.
watching TV here, guys, is getting kind of interesting stage here. 2190s just hanging around. A lot of red paint going through.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
like
that time
red
of
for
sales.
days. But that can always be a fake out, guys. That's why I don't remember the level to breakdown is the actual 89 prints. 90 prints don't do anything for us.
But yeah, I think I'm done for the day, guys.
Yeah, what time is it? Yeah, we're at 11.
I'll be back streaming Monday morning. So yeah, Monday morning I'm going to be streaming again. Really excited to get back home to my computer. I kind of enjoyed kind of taking the side seat and letting Mitch stream to this past week. But I am ready to
don't
start
worry, you'll be
streaming
back
again on Monday. Yeah, man. Look at JD though. JD, this is what I've been talking about. It looks like a nice little VWAP fade. I'm not taking it, but it looks okay here. With a risk of 36.34, 36.32, 36.34 with a potential reward all the way to 35.95. Good risk reward starting to drop here. You know, if I was in this trade, I'd probably take a partial here after making 20 cents on the shares. And so looks good, but we'll see. It has a lot of support at 36 as well, so see if we get a continuation bear trend. The biggest thing I don't like about it is this big down wick. It means a lot of buying pressure to push it back up all the way up there to the $35, $36 level. And so, but it doesn't look too bad on the 5 minute. It's kind of a 5 minute VWAP fade is what I'm looking at here. 5 minute VWAP fade looks good. Yeah, look at JD on the 5 minute. That's probably the biggest thing. If you look at JD on the 5
Yeah,
minute,
the bigger stocks, definitely. I like the more 5 minute chart. I feel like it just helps you out a lot.
Yeah.
Bigger stock, I think like over $20, you got to start looking at bigger time frames as you decide your entry also. Because you see on the 5 minute, it just looks beautiful. You know, that bounce, when it breaks down that support there at the beginning of 36.36 and then bounces all the way up to the VWAP there at 36.45. That's a nice spot right there to risk off of.
Right. And then, yeah, it's got that nice little resistance right above it, so a very obvious risk area. And if you look at a lot of these faders, especially the more expensive stocks, like you said, they look really pretty for VWAP fades on the 5 minute chart. And so maybe I'll start using the 5 minute chart a little bit sooner, just because the 5 minute chart, the setup looks good
clean. That's the problem. It helps you out with the fake outs, guys. That's why I always say you gotta look at multiple time frames when you're gonna take a trade. A lot of times it's good to just have two charts there. Have like a 1 minute and also have a 15 minute or a 1 minute and a 5 minute chart next to it, so that you can really kind of just take an assessment right quick. If I'm going for a 1 minute, it should agree with the 5 minute. The 5 will agree usually always with the 1, but the 1 sometimes won't agree with the 5. So work your way back, determine, okay, this looks like a good risk to reward trade on the 5 minute, and the entry looks a lot better on the 1 minute in this area. That's using a multiple time frame trade. Yeah, 3 minutes,
yep.
Keith, that is actually one of the charts that I've heard for bigger stocks. So either like a 2 or 3 minute versus the 1 minute. The 1 minute, a lot more fake outs with bigger stocks. Gush is Keith's bringing up Gush. That's a 3-time leverage ETF for oil. Not really something that we trade often, but it's definitely something that you can learn about and trade. Gush, drip, There's a couple of them like that. I used to have friends that used to love those in school. They're just big oil heads. Oil heads, man.
See, my mind's on candy, bro. Gushers, what?
I could use some Gushers. All right, man.
I'm gonna head out, guys. Gushers are fire, man. Gushers are fire. I love Gushers. But yeah, I'm gonna head out, guys. I'll be back Monday streaming, same time as always. Here's the link if you haven't subscribed to my channel already. There's the link in the chat, so go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But yeah, appreciate you streaming this week, Mitch. Let's do some studying this weekend once I get back tomorrow and let's kill it on
without a doubt, man.
Kill it Monday,
Looking
brother.
forward to it. Take it easy, brother.
All right, brother. Later, man. Later, guys.
All right, guys. Just really quickly, I'm looking at Tiva here, guys. It's just been hanging around at 2190 for so long that I'm looking to see what's gonna happen to it. If it's gonna try to break out through this 22, or if it's gonna break down. That's what I'm mainly paying attention to right now, and that's why I haven't closed the stream up. I feel like it's been hanging around for so long that when it does decide to make a move, it should make a big move, not a small one. Check the 5 minute. How we looking there? Yeah, so above 2195 would look good to break out through here, through this resistance 2197. Get through the 22s. Below this, and we could crack down to this 83, then probably bounce here up there to that 89, and then get below this all the way down to the 81s, 75s. Look at the time in sales. I'm going to pull it up for you guys so you guys can see it. Hey, outsider hanging around in that dish. That dish trade, it wasn't bad, bro. I was watching it early. That's why I liked when you showed it up at the highs. You just got a little bit early, but man, I'm sure you're still looking good in the green right now. There's Tiva starting to make a move up. 10,000 shares going through there at 2193, guys. These are the kind of orders I'm paying attention to, guys. So it looks like that was on the bid at 93. There you go, Mr. Charts. I see you joining up a little bit later, but go ahead and join us up a little earlier. I like your calls out. Just come to the chat room a little earlier. Sounds good, brother. Looking forward to it. All right, guys. Seeing Tiva hold there. It definitely looks good here. The volume coming in there at 2197s there. Looks good for a 22 breakout, guys. I like this pattern because you get that one up, one down, two up, two down. Then that third right here explosion there, guys. 5 minute chart. Get that explosion through that resistance. Volume will signify if it can get up here to this 2204 and up there to that 2210. One of the key things you want to see is volume like this. Start coming back in this. Volume like this. Not volume down here. You want to see volume start coming up here, getting up there. Yeah, I do agree, Mr. Charts. You know, it's one of the things that we work on, you know. I'm trying to get to a point where I can trade any stock. Yeah, it does. You do have to learn a lot, and you do have to kind of change your mentality. But I do agree with you. You know, certain blue chip and green chip stocks are going to be less risky. The spread. You just got to learn how to deal with the sizing. One of the key things I am working on is trading more expensive stocks. So that way I can learn the higher price strategies. But I think that our strategy also works on those price stocks. We just got to look for kind of just the different range. It just changes up the range, really. So percentage wise helps you. Not paying attention to so much on each cent, but percentage gains. But I think that's going to be it for me today, guys. All right, guys, ending down 61, guys. Pushed it a little bit further there, guys, that I probably should be pushing. But still in the day, for the week, I'm going to be green, even though earlier in the week I was taking trades with smaller size. So, but from Wednesday, so far we got about like a $30 day, a down $61 day, and an up $80 day. So we'll just keep pushing, guys. Keep trying to work the strategies. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to scale the strategy up and seeing if me going up to 400, 500 shares is going to keep me profitable. Let's keep working at it. And like I always say, you guys can email me at Outcome Trading. You guys can email me there. I'm putting it up on the chat there. I don't mind you guys emailing me, asking me questions. More than willing to help you guys out. Well, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Looking forward to next week. Next week, I will be trading Monday and Tuesday. Will not be trading Wednesday, as I'll be traveling to Denver, Colorado, guys. Denver, Colorado. Looking forward to maybe meeting up with 7 from our chat room. And we'll be looking forward to trading with you guys live on Thursday and Friday from Denver, Colorado, guys. We'll be traveling just like John. We like to travel, and that's what we're doing, man. This is what I trade. I trade for hopefully eventually being able to travel and live around the world. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for me, guys. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys with that Tiva trade that looking pretty nice there. If it fails those 22s, should get up there.
Yo,
Like
I ain't
always,
here
guys,
for the money, I ain't